Hello everybody, it's Daniel. Wanted to do a review on this guitar I just got. I just got it today. This is the S2, the 10th anniversary S2 PRS S2 Custom 24. So, just a real quick breakdown. This year, earlier this year in January, PRS announced they were finally going to release the SE DGT and the McCarty 594s in the SE lineup. But they also announced a couple amps as well. One thing that got slipped into the radar was this model, the S2, the 10th anniversary of the S2 series. Now, for those who know or may not know, the S2 stands for Stevensville 2. Stevensville, Maryland, being the American plant. So the reason why it's S2 is Stevensville 2, because this is the second production series that comes off that line. So basically what you have is the SEs, which right now are made in the Court factory in Indonesia. Then you've got the S2 line. The S2 line tends to be the American bodies, American finishes, American necks, and then it's the SE, the Indonesian or Asian line of pickups, electronics, pots, and I think this molded trem and the locking tuners on these and the CE24 or the CEs tend to be, I think, again, don't quote me, I think they are from the SE lineup. Well, with this one, so for the 10th anniversary, what they did was they released this. They announced the release of this one, the Custom 24, and the McCarty 594 double cutaway. This time they have American pickups and American pots. The American pots, American wiring. So the electronics are now American, which is something that a lot of people have asked for. In this guitar, it has the 8515 American pickups. You can tell because they have the square bobbins, not the circular ones. On the McCarty 594, they have the 5815 LT. Again, the core pickups, the core American pickups. Both this is limited to 1,000 pieces, and I think they have like 5-6 different colors. And then the McCarty 594 10th anniversary limited edition is also 1,000 pieces. So anyway, yesterday I went to my guitar lesson at El Dorado Hills Music. I always try to give them a shout out. They're my local PRS dealer. And, I always go to their PRS wall. I go check everything out, go look at, see if they got anything new. They got a new Modern Eagle, core line Modern Eagle. And then the owner, Cameron, pointed out to me this one, the the S2 Custom 24. Which definitely intrigued me. And then, I went to my guitar lesson, I talked with them a little bit, went to my guitar lesson, came out, and then I kept looking at this guitar because it was just kind of, it just looked really nice, and I was just curious about it. I'm like, kept looking at it, and then when, before he left, Cameron turned to leave, to go home, I went and I asked him about a couple things, like, what's the difference? Like, what am I sacrificing, or what's the difference if I get this one versus if I get a core Custom 24? Basically, the main difference is the S2 carve and I think some of the higher end locking tuners, the higher end bridge. That's basically about it. And 10 top and whatever. But for the money, so this is brand spanking new. This is $22.99. A core custom 24. I think that's going to be in the high 3 to 4,000 range. So you're saving quite a bit of money on this. So I had my little my little mini pedal board. I decided take this off the wall, test it for about 5-10 minutes before I head out, and I just fell in love with the guitar. The neck, which I think is a pattern thin, just felt so good. The pickups, the 8515 pickups, which I also have in my CE24, just sounded amazing. I love, and I'll go over what these are, the 5-way switch settings. So anyway, I decided to go in today. After mulling it over all night, and then earlier today, I decided, I pulled the trigger. I paid for it through Affirm payments, because, like I said, this isn't sponsored. PRS didn't send this to me. I wasn't given this guitar. If I'm reviewing a guitar, it's because I've either bought it with my own money, or I've traded other stuff for the guitar, or made some kind of deals, wheeling and dealing to get the guitars. This one's all me. This is all me paying this off via Affirm payments. And so I picked it up this afternoon, and I'm in love with it. Honestly, I just have a hard time putting it down. So, anyway, we'll go over, now I'll go ahead and go over the different sounds, the different tones and everything. My clean amp is going to be my little Vox AC4 TV Mini. My distorted amp will be a Black Star HT1R Mark II in baby blue, both of which are tube amps. I'm playing it, I've got those plugged in through an MXR AB box, so I can be able to toggle through both of them. And so let's go ahead and go through the sounds. So we're going to go on the clean first. So in the 5 position, I've got the neck as a humbucker. Now in the 4 position, this is both the neck and the bridge humbucker as single coils. Middle position is the 2 pickups as humbuckers. This 2 position is the neck pickup is a single coil, the bridge is a humbucker. And the 1 position is just the bridge pickup as a humbucker. Now let's do some distorted. So this is, again, the neck as a humbucker. Now that's sustain. The 4 position, the 2 single coils. The 3 position, both humbuckers. The 2 position, neck, single coil, bridge humbucker. And the 5 position, the bridge humbucker. I just love this guitar. It looks, I jokingly call this my CE24's twin, because if you remember, I have a CE24 that is in the same color, fire red wrap burst. But this one, so the one thing I like is that this has the 5-way switch. The only other PRS I have that's a 5-way switch is the Silver Sky, and that's pretty common because it's a Strat. But with the custom 22 and the custom 24s, with their 5-way switches, what they've got is the coil splitting. So again, like the two humbuckers as single coils, or the single coil and humbucker. So as one of the people, John, one of the people who works at Eldorado Hills Music. My guitar teacher and I were playing with it as I was, picking it up. We just had it plugged in, and we were just trying to test out and play with the various notes, feel the neck, all that stuff. Like my guitar teacher really loved the neck pickup, which what's not to love? Very fat tone, a very fat bluesy rock kind of tone. But the tones I really liked were these single coil tones. Let's try it distorted. Just an all-around good, fun guitar. The only change I did make to it was it came with the clear lampshade knobs, and what I put on this were the amber ones. Just a personal preference. I just tend to think that the sunburst, the brown sunburst, and the red guitars, the cherry colored guitars, just tend to look better with amber knobs than the clear ones, than the clear knobs. That's it. That's just a personal preference thing. So that's that. So yeah, it took me less than 24 hours to buy it, or to decide to buy it. Again, I'm glad that Reverb and whatever have a firm, which is basically like PayPal for a lot of these kind of stores. And it allows me to buy it, because again, if I've got these guitars, I'm buying them. Paul Reed Smith is not sending them to me. No store is sponsoring me. No, there's no sponsorships of my videos. Although if PRS does want to sponsor me, or Gibson wants to sponsor me and send me guitars for review, I'm happy to do that. But at least for the foreseeable future, it's whatever I can afford to put my hands on. And so anyway, my suggestion is if you have a local PRS dealer who has one of these, I would definitely go try it. If you're used to the custom 24s or custom 22s, or even if you're a fan of the S2s, or you've just moved, you're trying to find a way to move past the SC line, you can't afford the cores, because I believe the core custom 24, 22s, I think those are around high 3,000 to maybe even the 4,000 or 5,000 range. Like, they're getting up there. They're pretty expensive. This is about $2,300 new. Yeah, with the affirmed payments, you're going to be paying more. So my hope is to finish paying off my CE24. I've got less than $300 left on that payment. And then once I get that, then try to pay this one off as soon as possible, so I'm not paying as much of that extra, that extra interest. But honestly, it's the only way I'm going to buy one of these. So I think there's like 5 or 6 different colors for these. If you get a chance and you really like it, I suggest going for it. See if your local store has a Reverb store. If so, then you can try Affirm payments. Affirm, which is it's like Travis Credit Union. It's like any other thing. Like when you apply for a car loan, you're just applying for a guitar loan. So like I said, the payments, there is a higher interest on it, but go try it. Maybe it's worth it to you. Or maybe you just have the extra cash. Maybe you got a bigger tax refund, and now you're like, okay, I want something. I want to graduate, or I want a limited edition S2 model, or like these were meant to. It's like, well, I kind of want the S2 pricing, but I want American electronics in. That's exactly what these are, and I have a feeling these are test pilots to see if there's a market for these. Like I've noticed with Paul Reed Smith, what they'll do is the beginning of the year or something, they'll do a bunch of limited editions, and they'll put some new features. Like I think some of the cores and the limited editions had the mini toggle switches, that we now know as for the coil splitters. Like he's tried different pickups and he's put those in limited editions, and then when they end up being a hit, then he kind of starts spraying those around to more of the models. I have a feeling this is a test case to see if there really is a market for selling these S2 guitars with American electronics in. So please, let's make these highly successful for PRS, so they go and they do more S2s with American pickups, American electronics. That I would like to see more of. But yeah, it's a great guitar. I love it. The neck feels great. It's got a lot of good accoutrements that maybe they don't always have in the S2 lineup, or in an affordable lineup. One thing I really like is this 5-way switch. I really like the different coil splitting features. So, except for my my Silver Sky, which doesn't do coil splitting because they're all single coils, this is the only PRS I've had that has this 5-way switch, 5-way selector that does the coil splits. This is the only one that I have that does that. Most of the other ones have push-pull pots, or my CE24, where you have one tone pot that's a push-pull and then a 3-way switch. Which, while it's cool having that, it does limit it, because if you push-pull, if you do the pulling and you put in single coil, well, then that puts both your pickups into single coil. So you can't go humbucker, or you can't go single coil unless a humbucker. So someone asked me how I rate this versus my CE24. I would say I like this one a little bit better so far. I like the finish neck. I'm not a satin finish guy, so I like that this has a full gloss finish. And again, I like that it gives you a little bit more tonal options. It's not like it gives you the single coil and humbucker, gives you the double single coils, and then but like I said, I'm just amazed at this guitar. It looks, sounds, plays amazing. Again, if you have a local place you can go to get it, get one. I'd highly recommend it. All right. Like, if you have any comments, any questions, put them down there and in the comment section. And if you have any questions, I'll try to respond to them as best I can. Thank you. Yeah.